Hello, Namibia, and welcome to your daily lunchtime show where we get to catch up on current events and headlines that are in the news. My name is Priska Agnolo, and thank you so much for tuning in to watch NMH at 1. Now to take a look at the incoming news this morning. As many of you have heard, but here's the confirmation. Namibia Media Holdings has closed its head offices in Windhoek on account of a confirmed COVID-19 case in their midst. By yesterday evening, more than 50 employees had been tested for COVID-19, and the company is rigorously pursuing that program today, while the building is in the meantime sanitized. As I'm speaking to you, and similar to yesterday's show, we are broadcasting the NMH show at 1 from a remote site. On account of practical challenges, this will be our last NMH at 1 broadcast for this week. And in fact, neither tomorrow nor on Saturday will we bring you the shows that you have gotten used to. Please do accept our apologies and bear with us. As for Monday, though, we should be able to manage in line with previously prepared contingency plans. In the meantime, all news and business related issue can be addressed by you by mail, as has always been done. NMH will fall back on protocols that were put in place for such an occurrence. Now moving on to our COVID-19 news. In the COVID-19 monitor for today, we summarize the situation in Namibia as a whole, with the epicenter of local transmissions having moved to Windhoek in terms of the newly detected cases. The Irongo region now only makes up 65% of all COVID-19 cases. At the high break in Walvis Bay, this percentage stood at more than 95%. Khomas region currently makes up 29% of all recorded cases in the country, and this region's recovery rate currently only stands at 17% since hundreds of new cases were reported in this past week alone. It probably comes as part of the territory when testing has been drastically increased in this most highly populated part of the country. The recovery rate for the Irongo region currently stands at 70%. The COVID-19 cases in the Omaheke region increased to 20, and a growing number of cases are also reported in Rehoboth in the Hardap region. With registered 64, the small but densely populated Oshana region has the third largest number of confirmed cases now, with its recovery rate standing at 13%. No recoveries have yet been reported from the Kunene and Oshikoto, nor from the Kovango East and East regions. Of the 39 fatalities recorded to date, which make up less than 1% of the confirmed cases, 22 are from the Irongo region, 15 from Windhoek in the Khomas region, and a single case comes from Khababas and Ongwediva each. That is it for the first part of our news, but for now, let's go to a quick ad break, and I'll be right back showing you our video inserts for today. And we are back. For our first video insert, it is called The We Moment. Your NMH community publication Windhoek Express brings you the so-called We movement. We, which is W-E, is currently working on the focus edition for Prosperita and the southern industrial area of Windhoek. In this clip, you will see Jareen Hoff speaking to Norbert Zimmerman of Zimmerman's Garage, a Volkswagen agent for more than 55 years, which continues to sell and service vehicles in the capital city of Namibia. Do enjoy.
Welcome to Zimmerman Garage. We are a private company in the market now for over 56 years. Being established by my parents, and my brother and myself are now in the management. My brother keeps up the workshop and I'm doing the sales and after sales / human resources. We are in the southern industrial area in 5 Wright Street. People that have a Volkswagen should normally know where we are, but for anybody who is in the market new can visit us in 5 Wright Street, Southern Industrial, Windhoek. Zimmerman Garage is a specialized franchise dealer, and that also brings about special tools, special equipment, special training. We have got over 50 people employed in the workshop that needs constant training on the technical side. We also have an apprenticeship program where we are basically learning people from the school that wants to become a mechanic or a motor electronic how to do the job. We also have special equipments for extra work that might become applicable for windscreen repairs, or if you have a wheel alignment when your car is pulling left or right, or you have a speed wobble that you want to balance your wheels, tires. That equipment we have also. We also do windscreen repairs, meaning if you have a little chip, which can happen on our dirt road, that you can basically get the chip fixed before you have to replace the whole windscreen because it's going to crack. That would be payable by the insurance. Then we have also special equipment from Volkswagen, which is needed to do a fault finding on any mechanical interruptions. If a car is not pulling or if there's some mistakes, then the fault finding machine will indicate where we have to look for. Those are special equipments only being sent by Volkswagen so that we can keep your car in a running mode. Also, we have a electrical workshop where we do wheel alignment, not wheel alignment, but where we do electrical repairs from window winders that are electronically to air condition, gas refill, to radios that are maybe not working with their Bluetooth connectivities and radios to the cell phone. So these are also special equipments that are needed. What is also part of our workshop is that the oil that we are tapping off from your vehicle gets collected by a company that then uses those bad oil for mines. We also have a collection where we keep the big metal pieces which we collect, like brake pads, drums, oil filters, and those we then basically don't drop at the site, but we sell them to iron and metal reusers. What is important for me is that people also understand to buy their new vehicles or used vehicles where they also want to service in the future. That's the bit of loyalty that one would like to expect from customers, and cheaper is not always better, because one obviously also has to have a certain training that one needs to also pay for, and be then aware that your car is in good hands and serviced by mechanics that know what they are doing because they've been trained. We stretch over 15,000 parts so that they are available when your car comes in for service. Obviously, there could sometimes be a part that we don't have in stock, which then can be ordered via Volkswagen South Africa. If they have it available, it should be here within 48 hours. If it has to come from Germany, it can take up to 7 to 10 days. These are the workshop and services that we offer to you as a valued Volkswagen customer. At the moment, we are running a program or Drive Local and Support Local, which basically comes to the point where we say, be loyal to your workshop, and should you be in the market for buying a new or used car, make a turn with my sales team, see what we can offer you, and I'm sure that we can probably make a plan with selling a new vehicle for any customer that wants to buy a Volkswagen.
Thank you so much to Doreen Hofer and Norbert Zimmerman of the Zimmerman Garage. If you would like to be a part of the Windhoek Express Focus Edition, please contact our client executive Marie Jordan on her cell number 081-285983. That is 081-128-5983. Moving on to our second video insert where Joey Capena speaks to Claudia Reiter. Joe Capena, who is a visual artist from Windhoek, spoke to Claudia Reiter of the Allgemeine Zeitung about his self-taught artwork and the meaning behind his drawings. Have a look.
Hey guys, welcome to my studio. I'm Kopena, and this is my space. Yeah, welcome to my space, guys. And I'm 33 years old, visual artist. This is what I've been doing since I was a little kid, but then kind of drifted away from it. Did some rugby and been doing rugby for quite a very long time, and I've been out of art for like, let's say, good 20 years or so. And yeah, and got back into art last year, and now I'm a full-time visual artist, and this is what I do, and I'd like to show you around. So this is one of the pieces that I'm working on, the cheetah and this Damara lady here. So I've been working on this piece now for the past 2 to 3 weeks. Usually it takes me like 4 weeks and so on, but when you do hyperrealism, it's a tedious task. So what happens is you need to pay attention to your reference image and so on, and you need to design all the needed little angles that will give you that hyperrealism kick. So for me, this little guy here, third week, and I'm just getting down more layers with charcoal, mixing it a little bit with graphite as well. So, and then after that, I need to design like the fur and all that. But it's going well, and most of the time I'll be busy with a piece, and within myself I just feel like, you know what, I think it's a little bit time, I just need a little bit of inspiration, then I'm shift over to something else. And here, this is now one of the hardest part of art, when you're trying to create that realistic skin texture with all the pores and pimples and so on. So yeah, but it's going very well, even though it's a tedious task. I love it. It's a challenge, trying to capture the essence of someone. I think that's a great deal. So yeah, like I said, it's a tedious task. It takes a very long time to finish one piece. Like over here, this little guy, this little piece here, it's been over 3 weeks, or let's say 4, and I'm still struggling with the whole tone effect. I'm trying to create that whole water and everything, and especially when you're doing water portraits, one needs to be very detailed to tone. Tone plays a big role. You're dark, you're white, and all that. So, but it's a challenge, because you really need to like try and be well captured to your reference image, and then try to capture what you saw there and then just put it down on this piece here, because you can't add anything different to your reference image and then it throws the whole piece out of context and so on. So this is very important part of hyperrealism drawing. Like I mentioned earlier about the whole water effect in my previous portrait that I showed you guys. This is what I mean, you know, trying to get the whole dark tone and the white just to get that water effect. This piece here is very, very personal to me, and it took me quite, let's say, a very good a month and a week, easily. Yeah, a month and a week. And it's very, why do I say it's personal? For me, it's all about, I was forced to grow up early. And basically, this is like, this kid is saying, just don't rob me from my childhood or my teenage, or let me be a child. You know, and we are forced to grow up early, and most of the kids end up missing their childhood period or their childhood phase. And yeah, this is one of the pieces that is just talking about that, on that whole, like, I want to be a child, allow me to be a child, don't force responsibilities on me. And this is where that piece comes in, and it's very, very personal for me, and I've had a lot of offers for it, but I just decided I'm not going to sell it. It's not for sale. Okay, like here, this is what I mean by hyperrealism. You try and capture small details. Like this little piece took me like just over a month as well. So trying to design that whole skin texture and the pores and so on, that is actually the struggle part of hyperrealism. This piece here was done on mental health, just to speak on mental health a little bit. And you know, people don't take mental health seriously, and it's something that is that a lot of people are crying out to. And there was a time in my life where personally I felt like my brain just wants to explode, and I just wanted to do something dedicated to mental health. And this is basically where you like want to tell your brain to just like take a break a little bit, just give you a break, and just you just want a peace of mind. And this is what this portrait means to me. It's very personal, and again I got offers for it, and I just decided it's not for sale. So
Thank you so much to Claudia Reita. Yes. Thank you so much to Claudia Reita for showing us the beautiful artwork of Joey Capena. We will be taking a quick ad break, but we'll be right back with the front pages of our newspapers. Stay tuned. And now we are back with the front pages of our newspapers. In our first story, on Tuesday, the Minister of Health and Social Services, Kalumbi Shangula, uttered his suspicion that Windhoek was in the process of becoming the new epicenter of COVID-19. Yesterday, he made it abundantly clear that it is now considered to be exactly. Allgemeine Zeitung leads with the latest update on its page 1 and further reports about the closure of the offices of NMH in 1 in Windhoek, as already mentioned by myself earlier. The Republican focused on the Lady Pohamba Private Hospital, which has reported 34 of its staff members as being positively infected with COVID-19. The general manageress, Haneli Bueta, took the decision to have all of her staff as well as doctors tested to finally reach some form of peace of mind amongst her personnel. It was probably a question of time before this issue raised its head, so the Namibian Sun on its page 1 today picked up on the truckers that have been permanently doing their jobs away from home since the COVID-19 pandemic reached Namibia. These drivers have been continuously driving between Namibia and its neighboring countries, only being allowed to see their families after having gone through a quarantine facility, and it starts telling on them. On its front page, the Namibian leads with salary negotiations that are being conducted with the managing director of Namibia's national insurance company, Patty Karuwaihe Martin. There seems to be a difference of opinion between the board and the Minister of Finance. How that supposedly confidential information became public domain remains unclear, though. The New Era on page 1 takes up the corruption investigation into the finances of the town of Grootfontein. Both the Ministry of Urban and Rural Development as well as the Anti-Corruption Commission, not committee, are delving into questionable practices, especially after the recent arrest of the chairman of the management committee, Jack Tsanigap, who has been bailed out in the meantime. And now we move on to the inside of our country's newspapers, and this is where you'll find the following interesting stories. On page 3 of the Allgemeine Zeitung, you can read up on the fact that the Office of the Prosecutor General has successfully traced 2 Tanzanians who had previously been part of a court case against a policeman in Katima Mulilo. The officer had been accused of accepting bribes from the Tanzanians, whereafter he released the 2 persons, who he had initially jailed for supposedly selling stolen goods. The 2 witnesses opened a corruption case against the officer, but when they eventually could never be traced, the case against the accused was dropped. But now that the 2 witnesses are in fact available again, the court case will be resumed. The Republican reports on its page 3 of a sad tragedy, where a 9-year-old boy seems to have stabbed his 11-year-old niece when they fought for a knife in the settlement Ekondombali in the Omusati region. On page 3 of today's Namibian Sun, the recent demand by the Herero and Nama people, who insist on Germany owning up to the genocide of 1904 to 1908, is being highlighted yet again. On its page 3, the Namibian brings a short report of the ongoing online consultations, which the government is currently conducting to find a way forward for schools and the learning processes during COVID-19. The Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture has approached any and all interested parties so as to find workable solutions. The New Era on page 3 quotes the Namibian President Hage Geingob, who has been taking the lead in remembering Jeff Mbako, who after a short illness passed away in Windhoek at the age of 73. He is remembered as a former advisor to the president, as well as for the role he played as a former exiled activist of the SWAPO party. That is it. We have concluded the news for the front pages and the inside pages as well. But do stay tuned. We are just going for a short ad break and we'll be right back, where I'll be introducing our very special interview insert. Just as promised, we are right back, about to introduce our interview insert. Otis Fink had interviewed Harold Davids, who started an initiative to clean up an abandoned flat at H7A Court in Naraville, with the aim of housing people that were recently evicted.
Tell me about this initiative, Operation Clean Up H&A. Is it H&A Court?
H&A Court, yeah.
Yes. How did this initiative came about?
Otis, with the happenings that has been happening last in Walvis Bay, Naraville, with our destitute people that are staying on the streets, me and Rudy Bowie, yes, he contacted me and we actually thought about helping and aiding these people. So when he came and showed me this rundown place, I went on my knees and prayed to God. And this whole initiative is totally divinal. It is divine in the sense that God showed me what I can do. I don't have any finances or anything, but I know people. And God showed me by my networking, yes, and my network capabilities that I have, I should utilize it to aid these people.
Yes.
I'm a firm believer of not bringing problems to the table, but bringing solutions to the table. So I put out a challenge to all in the community to come and meet me here in the Saturday morning. And mind you, the predominant large number of these people were women that said, I don't care. If I need to take a spade, if I need to take a shovel, I need to carry a wheelbarrow, I'll do that.
Yes.
Because I want to be part of this initiative. There was around about more than 30 people here.
Yes.
On site. 30 people on site.
And what did the exercise entail?
The exercise entailed that we had to first move the rubble, and then we had to clear the rubble and then get the rubble into the skips that was sponsored, and then it had to be taken away, and there was then the cleaning process of cleaning these hallways and these walls. And therefore we utilized the fire brigade to come with the hydrants, the fire hydrants, the high pressure hydrants,
yes,
to come and wash off the walls for us. From here on we need to start cleaning it and then primer and paint it and stuff. But there's still a process to be ongoing here.
Yes. So tell me, how many people would you like to house here?
As you can see, I've shown you, we have, this is a 3-bedroom, a prior former 3-bedroom flat.
Yes.
With bathroom facilities and a kitchen at my back. So I would basically have this as a condominium where we can house 3 small families that can have a communal bathroom and a communal kitchen. That's the idea.
Yes. In terms of the owner of the building, how did that process go?
I'm actually glad that you asked me about this. The Friday, Rudy, a close friend of Mr. Basson, phoned him and got confirmation that we can proceed with this idea. And on Saturday, while we were busy, we had a telecon with him where I've put him on speaker, drew in some community members to come and hear for themselves the negotiation with me and Mr. Basson. However, today I've drafted a letter to him to formally put it on record and document it so that I can utilize that document with my negotiations with the municipality and local authority. Like for instance, there's no refuse removal here, there's no sewage here, water, etc. So that letter would then give me a platform as sorts to go and sit and negotiate with the municipality to look at this sewage works here, repair it so that it can be livable conditions for the people that are on the house here.
Finally, the way forward and what's your message to the community?
The way forward. As you can see, I need doors and then windows, and then I want to fumigate it. Then I want to sanitize the place, and then we need to start painting the place and remove the tiles that are broken.
Yes.
And paint the floors or replace the tiles, and then we can house the 3 families here. I wanna tell my community, this is not an egotistical journey, and we should forget about egos in this journey. When we want to help the destitute, we should forget about our egos, and we should focus on becoming one, because this exercise that was happening on Saturday was evidence to each and every one what we can achieve through good spirits. I told them, no man, just bring your lekker attitude. And while people were working, they were actually like singing and praising while they were working. And that is what we can achieve, Mr. Fink, through unity.
What a great initiative indeed, brought to you by Harold Davids and the community as a whole in Naraville. What a great initiative indeed. But yes, this brings us to the end of our program for today. I'd like to thank you so much for watching and supporting the show. My name is Priska Nyolo, your lovely host as always. And also do remember that NMH at 1 will unfortunately not be available tomorrow or on the weekend as well. But please do not be alarmed. Time and at the same place. Please do stay tuned for the weather, and remember to stay safe and practice social distancing at all time. Goodbye, Namibia.